Hey, welcome back to my studio. Today, I'd like to share a lesson that I've learned that I really believe has helped me improve my sketches as well as my studio paintings. I think you'll find it will help you as well. And it's all about value. Not money, but the difference between dark and light. So good artists pay attention to the range of values in their work, whether it's a sketch or a piece of art, or in this case, a photograph. So this photograph by Clyde Butcher is a great example of how he really works to have a full range from the darkest dark to the lightest light and lots of shades of gray in between. And it's what makes his work so dramatic. And it will work for you too in your sketchbook. I keep a little grayscale finder handy. Black is given the value 1 and white is given the value of 10, and I'm always checking to make sure that I have a range from darkest dark to lightest light. This little painting is a good example. I was really trying to push the difference between light and dark, and I put the lightest light next to the darkest dark because that's where your eye wants to go. Remember in our mini sketchbooks that we made the other day, I decided to draw portraits of produce that I found in the market that morning. So let's take a look at a sketch of romaine that I included in my book, and I colored it with colored pencils, and it's okay. It's a basic line drawing, and I added some color. But look what happens when I increase the range from dark to light. The first thing we need to do is make sure we're clear about where the light's coming from. So I'm going to add this little arrow as a reminder that the light's coming in from this direction. If that's the case, then this top edge of this leaf is going to be light, as is this, and we can begin to think about or imagine where are the dark places. So I know that this leaf is behind, so I'm going to give it a good bit of dark because it's really kind of hidden and tucked behind two other leaves. Right? Now here it comes out the top, so let's continue with adding some dark. And even though this part may be light, I know that this edge is being hit by the light, and if I darken what's next to it, it just makes it appear lighter. Okay. Now, where else would I see some darks? Probably down in this little corner. And again, nothing fancy. I also imagine that this side of this leaf is not getting a whole lot of light. So let's give it a little bit of darkness too. Okay. And probably down here along the bottom. Remember, the rib on the lettuce sticks out a little bit, so it might even be creating a little bit of a shadow. Okay. Now, one thing we know about lettuce is that it's kind of crinkly, and if we leave it all one color, it looks flat. But if we throw in some darks, just little squiggly lines, we begin to get the impression, and that's all I'm trying to do in a sketch, is give an impression that this leaf isn't flat, it's got some crinkles to it. Now the last thing is, I had used a lighter yellowy green on these ribs, but in reality, as they curve under, they're tucked in a little bit from the light. This one's definitely kind of hidden, and this one, this whole side and the bottom are probably darker. So think about this sketch before we accentuated the difference between dark and light and how much better our little sketch looks. So as you can see, even a very simple sketch looks better when you're not afraid of the dark. Give it a go. I'd love to see what you come up with, and I'm always interested in hearing about what you're learning. You can share as a comment to this post or send me an image and a note via Facebook Messenger. I hope to hear from you. See you next time.